Before we start today's episode, I want to jump in and say we was meant to post this on Halloween. It is now February, and yeah, we are slacking because I wasn't able to edit it until now, but you are seeing it, and hopefully we'll get back to regular posts very soon.
Welcome to the Girls and Girls podcast.
I'm Shauna.
And I'm Lexie.
And on today's episode, we have a special guest, our brother Liam.
Hi.
I spoke over him saying hi. So on today's episode, we are going to be reading some ghost stories off of Reddit because, well, it's spooky season, and we thought the theme could be spooky season stories. So I found a subreddit, and this is just people's experiences. I haven't read through them, so I don't know what to expect today. I'm just going to go through this subreddit. First story. Funny enough, the story took place at around this time of year back in 2013. So ironically, October by the sounds of it. This was when I was homeless and stuck in the women's shelter. It was mid-October and late in the evening, between 8 and 9:30 p.m, and some friends and I were sitting outside under the big tree in a smoking area just enjoying some fresh air and chatting. While we were talking, we noticed the executive director leaving the building hours later than he usually did. He typically left at or before 5 p.m, so he was very late, and he was leaving in a huge hurry too, so quickly that his car's tires spun out as he turned off the driveway and onto the street, and then he took off down the road at a speed that was definitely over the in-town speed limit. But that wasn't the creepy part. As he passed the intersection, a huge, and I mean huge, this thing was easily horse-sized, a black dog or wolf-like apparition with luminous red eyes leapt through the exterior brick wall of the front office, took 3 long bounds across the front lawn in pursuit of his car, and vanished as it hit the road. I asked if anyone else had seen that. The only answer was a quick yep from one of the other ladies as she hurried, stuffed her cigarette and lighter in her purse, and got up from the bench. We all hurried inside, totally spooked, and everyone was jittery and on edge for the rest of the night. And it doesn't stop there either. At Christmas time of that same year, we got another new lady in the shelter. She shared the same room as a friend, and I did, next door to another friend with 4 kids. Anyway, we were up late one night making little Christmas gifts for the other ladies and talking about our experiences in the shelter. It didn't take long for the conversation to turn to the ghosts there, and we told her about the black dog and the director. Almost immediately, the temperature in the room dropped noticeably, and the baby next door woke up and started shrieking bloody murder like someone was hurting her. If you guessed that we changed the topic real fast, you would guess correct. That was just too weird and creepy. Okay. Interesting. So someone asked in the comments, so do these look ghostly or do they look alive and full? And they said they look alive and full, nothing ghostly about them at all in terms of appearance. They get confused with demons and whatnot because they have glowing red eyes. Okay, this story sounds really confusing, and I don't know. I was kind of getting like a dream sense.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. But I don't know if that's just because how often do you see something like big with red eyes that looks like a dog or like a wolf?
Pretty sure wolves have red eyes, like some. Or am I just like a bit delulu? Have I been reading too many like fan fictions?
I don't know. I actually don't know. I suppose they could. Let me quickly Google it. Wolves do not have red eyes naturally. Okay. Their eyes are typically yellow, gold, or amber.
And like red eyes is just like fictional.
Okay. So yeah, they don't actually have red eyes. So, I don't know, do you think this could have happened? Wow, loads of people saw it, so what could it have been? And why is this director, like, surrounding himself with this thing?
Well, if it was as big as like a horse, but then it looked like a dog or a wolf.
Wolves are real.
Great job.
No, I mean, like, you know, it could be like a human that he knows that's changed into a wolf.
You read too many books. And you've watched Twilight too much.
Yeah, I know. That was a joke. I don't actually believe that's what happened. But yeah, I'm actually genuinely confused about this. Let me see if I can...
We haven't even asked Liam what he thinks.
Oh yeah, what do you think?
What do you think? Do you have any thoughts on it?
Like...
The light died.
I knew the light was going to die.
Like it could. I don't really know.
No, this one's definitely a hard one because it really depends on what you believe. Like, to me, it sounds like a dream, like someone's had a dream. But then you've got to put into perspective that other people saw this as well. And I just find it very funny how all of a sudden the topic is brought back up and then they're starting to get like other experiences, like it becoming cold in the room. The baby screaming, that could just be a big coincidence, because, well, there are many times where babies can just randomly wake up and scream like, bloody murder. That is normal, so I'm not going to think too much into that one. Okay, so memory card ended up being full, which I've never had happen before during a podcast, but here we are, new memory card. Forgot what I was saying fully, but to round it up, yeah, normal for babies to scream. Depends what you believe. Let's move on to the next.
When I was 14, there was a very loud knock on our front door. You would need to come onto a locked screen in a porch to get to it. So loud it seemed to vibrate the room. My dad got up to look and there was nothing there. A few minutes later, my sister, who is 9 years older and is married living in another town, calls my mom to tell her someone just pounded on the front door off a second floor balcony and woke up her baby, but there was no one there. The next day we got a call. Our older sister had died.
What? I was not expecting that twist.
Oh.
That is wild. So
I feel like I just read like a plot twist in a book.
I know, literally. I wasn't seeing that coming. So basically, what they believe is that it was the sister, assumably.
Yeah, because the older sister of like both of them.
Whoa, that is wild. But did you know that's a common experience for people? Where they have like something happen to them and then they find out that someone has passed. So it is common. But I just wasn't expecting it for this story. I could tell how shocked you
That's
are.
just insane. Because like, if you think about it, she could be pounding on like the doors and like banging like loudly, being like in like a hurry, being like, help, what just happened? Because if you think about it, if I moved out and like something happened to me, I would come rushing here and like banging on the door for your attention.
Yeah.
So like, you know what I'm saying?
Wow. That's wild. And it's probably their way of being like, I've passed, so I'm going to be around type thing. That was a wild one.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that plot twist.
Do you have any like thoughts, Liam?
That is wild.
That's strange.
That's strange, yeah.
That's strange, wild, unexpected. I don't remember what time of the year it did happen, but I was 6 or 7 years old at my grandma's house. The whole family was there. My mum, at the time, she and my father had already divorced. My uncle and his wife, who's also my godmother. Nope, not what the story says. Who is also my godmother, my cousins, and of course my grandparents. We were watching TV and my little cousins came running from the bedroom across the hallway. At first, no one minded, but she refused to go back there.
Not dealing with kids and ghosts. Kids and ghosts, big no-no.
I hate kids and ghosts.
Big no-no.
No, I don't hate kids and ghosts, but when it has to do with like spiritual
Like
children,
mixed.
yeah, no. It is even more creepy and even more sad, and I don't know. It's just, or dolls. I don't like dolls either. Those are the two
I
things.
love dolls.
No, those are the two things I can't deal with.
Haunted dolls? I would happily take one in.
I'm good, thanks. I have my limits. Okay, let's see where this is going. Cut to a few hours later when I was alone at the living room and everyone else was on the kitchen having dinner. I saw a pale figure standing at the corner of the room. It felt like a nice presence, someone I know. Now, when I'm 22, I know that at the time, no one I knew had died. A few moments later, something caught my attention, and when I look back at the corner, nothing's there. When I look to the kitchen on the other side, I see a white mist crossing the hallway from wall to wall. When I was 14 at the same house, I see the same figure again, but this time it was floating at the door of my bathroom. Sounds like an experience you had.
Huh?
Floating at the bathroom door? You didn't see floating, but...
I don't know what you said, that's why I'm confused.
Was you not listening to the story?
No, I don't know what you said just a second ago.
Oh.
I know that they saw floating by the bathroom door.
Oh, it seems like your experience.
Ah.
Similar. It was weird because it didn't feel nice anymore. I let it go because nothing was happening that needed my attention. This month we sold the house, and when my uncle and I were taking out some stuff we wanted, the house will be demolished to build a mall or something, I saw the same figure. It felt wrong, angry, disappointed. That house was in my family since 1920. When my great-great-grandfather built it after coming from Portugal to Brazil, why would you want that to be smashed down? Anyway.
But they want it to be.
Well, maybe they don't want it, but it's been demolished. Anyway, I guess that's someone else's problem though. I wish I could communicate with what I believe to be my great-grandmother. Oh, okay. Yeah, that would make
reason
sense.
to be angry.
Why would it be angry? Oh, it definitely would be angry. Is that what you said? Sorry.
Yeah.
It would be great if there was a way that you could communicate just to like...
Ouija board?
Yeah.
Did you just say yeah to a Ouija board?
Oh, Ouija board, no! I thought you said, would you want to? Am I okay?
No. What's up with us today? We're just not in it.
We're never in it for a podcast. We say that in every podcast episode. It's just who we are.
Yeah.
It's gone. Oh yeah, it would be great because then you can figure out the history and all that stuff. It's definitely very disappointing that it's been demolished. Obviously, we don't know the story behind that. But if it's your great-great-grandfather that built it, I don't know why it's been demolished or, you know, but again...
Maybe, like, whoever needs a plot.
Yeah. But again, understandable if the spirit is angry then.
Any thoughts?
I'm just confused.
The spirit has no thoughts on anything.
No, like, just confused why they were demolished.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. Like, it doesn't make sense. There's obviously reasons that they haven't got into, because they obviously didn't feel like it was, like, important to the story.
Mm.
I feel like it kind of is, though. Only because then you can understand the anger more, because they said that at the age of 6 or 7, it felt like a nice presence. And then as they turned 14, that's when it began to feel angry and disappointed. And again, that would make sense if it was a great-grandmother, because...
Okay, wait. But is the person 14 when it's being demolished?
No.
Older. See,
Seems like it.
okay, but that just proves that, like, spirits could probably see, like, the future. Because they're getting angry at 14.
Well, maybe not, because sometimes when it comes to demolishing a building, it can take years. Like, it might have been something that they discussed for a while.
Oh, yeah, good point.
So obviously the spirit's gonna know what's happening and get disappointed.
When I was 2 years old, my parents had moved me to an old house. There had been some odd noises around the house which they had attributed to possibly mice or rats, and were trying to figure it out, until one day I climbed out of my bed and came downstairs to let them know that George said he wants his life back. Turns out there was a George who owned the home previously.
Whoa. Okay. That is strange. See, I just don't... No, I like it because obviously, like, I love ghostly stuff, spiritual stuff, but I find it crazy how when you find out a name or something, but then it correlates back to the history.
Yeah, I've had that happen before. And what do you call it? But also with this, it's a kid with... So imagine a kid coming downstairs. Imagine your kid coming downstairs being like, George wants his life back.
That just seems like a very random thing to say as well. Like, where would they have got that from? Like, where did they hear it? Was it like a sense, or did the spirit talk to this person?
Well, like, people say that kids can, like, just see and hear ghosts. Like, a ghost could just speak and kids could hear it, maybe.
Yeah, because they said I climbed out of bed and came downstairs to let them know that George said he wanted his life back. Unless he was, like, sleeping, it was, like, some type of dream. I don't know. That one's interesting, though. I wish we got more information about it, though.
What's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are maybe like he thought he was having a dream, right? But it was reality. It's like a spirit told him that, and then he thought he woke up, but he was actually awake.
Oh, I get what you mean. Maybe.
So he just thinks it's a dream.
Yeah, but in reality, it actually happened.
Yeah.
But then it feels like a dream. Yeah, that's a possibility.
Maybe so.
I mean, there's been many times where I've had a dream, woke up, thought it was real, until I realised, nope.
Yeah, like, I find out that some of my dreams, that, like, they seem so real that I, like, for, like, after, like, a year, I'm like, wait, did that happen?
Well, mine's just more like I dream that I'm rich, wake up and realise I'm not. That's when it's sad. You've never had one of those dreams?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, I wasn't taking advantage of the money. I was literally buying stuff for people, not me.
I don't remember what I was doing with my money.
Mine was just
No.
PC things.
Yeah, that
course it
doesn't even
was.
surprise me.
Of course.
Of course it's PC things. Okay, next. Oh, okay. brought one of those toy Ouija boards from Toys R Us back in 2012.
Wait, there's toys of those?
I don't know. You know what? Maybe they thought it was a toy, but actually isn't a toy. Because obviously they're writing the story. Because I've never seen a toy Ouija board before.
Wait, what, a toy?
Yeah, it says
Like a toy Ouija board.
brought one of those toy Ouija boards from Toys R Us back in 2012. I don't know. I've never seen one.
I haven't.
Took it to my girlfriend's house and we would have our friends come over and mess around with it. Nothing ever really happened. It never spelled any words, but they haven't wrote English yet. Okay. But the planchette would move across the board when we would ask questions. Anyway, my girlfriend removed her sliding closet door and put her bed frame in there. She would complain of something tapping in the box and stuff on the closet shelf kept falling over. Eventually she told me to take it back to my house. I pretty much said whatever and I did. All the stuff that would happen to her happened in the middle of the night. No one else experienced it and I thought she was just trying to make me scared.
What's such a good girlfriend? Oh yeah, I don't want to deal with this, so you can take it and deal with that.
You take it, although he brought it in, so he can take it back. Fair enough. Fast forward a couple of weeks. It's around 3 a.m. and I'm mindlessly playing Pokemon on my Game Boy. I heard this deep guttural growl coming from the top of my closet. I start to freak out. My body starts to move on its own. And I sit up and pivot myself so I'm facing my closet door. I slowly stepped out of bed, walked to my closet and opened the door. The growl stopped. I threw away the board the next day. Definitely one of the creepiest things to happen to me. Not to upset you, but throwing it away isn't going to get rid of it.
Pretty sure you have to bury it.
I'm pretty sure you have to bury it. That is the number one rule. Once you are done with the board, bury it. Because otherwise you're going to have that attachment forever. So I'm intrigued. Did it work throwing it away? Because I have a feeling it probably didn't.
Most likely not.
Because the number one rule is bury it. I don't know what prevents it from coming back if you bury it compared to
maybe because it's underground, you're burying the portal basically.
Yeah.
What's your opinion?
What would happen if you burn it?
Not good stuff.
Not good stuff. No, I'm pretty sure.
You know
sure one of the things you're meant not to do is burn it.
Yeah, I'm very curious though. I wonder if someone else has Googled it before. Burning a Ouija board has no supernatural consequences as they are just game boards made of materials like wood or plastic. The act of burning it is a way to physically destroy the board, and the results are simply the physical ones of burning any other object. That's not what I'm asking. So apparently it has no supernatural stuff. Okay, a supernatural. Oh, okay. So non-supernatural perspective, it burns and it is destroyed. It is a way to dispose of it. Is a physical process. To supernatural perspective, some believers claim it is a bad idea. Those who believe Ouija boards can be portals to spirits advise against burning them if they believe the board is possessed. It may make things worse. According to this belief system, burning a possessed object could have negative consequences, especially if the spirit is strong. It could disrupt a connection. For those who believe in the connection, burning the board might be seen as a way to permanently sever it. So it depends what you believe. Some people believe that it's fine. Some people believe that it's a bad idea. It can make things worse, or it will disrupt the connection that you have. Now, some people want a connection with certain things. If it's bad, obviously you don't want that connection. So yeah, it really depends on what you believe, I suppose. Me personally would believe do not burn it, just because it's a bad idea. I feel like it's a bad omen, which obviously you don't want around a Ouija board.
Not very spooky, but very strange. Me and my friend had just arrived very early in school, so the school was still empty with only a few noted pupils around. We decided to go buy food at the school shop. Heading there, we walked on a hallway. On a hallway? You mean in a hallway? Okay, sorry. Heading there, we walked on a hallway thing outside, and there was no one around. Then we heard footsteps, someone running behind us. We both instantly turned to see who it was, and then we instantly turned to look at each other because we were both shocked. There was no one, absolutely no one, but we were 100% sure we heard the footsteps. Nobody ever believed us.
I don't like the idea of that. Hearing footsteps, turning around, nothing's there. Although, to be fair, I have felt like I've had that before. Now, I don't know if it's always been in my head or anything, but I felt like I've heard footsteps. I turn around and it's not there. Or I feel like I hear someone coming downstairs. I generally hear the footsteps.
The stair thing is kind of just you know, it's like whether in your imagination or not, because everyone gets freaked out on the stairs, I think.
Yeah, but also the floorboards, they can settle. Like, I don't take that as ghostly. Like, to me, you can't go by that.
Unless you
I'm
actually
just
see something.
Don't say that. No, I actually never want to see something. I don't
Why?
think. I'd be too scared. In this house? No,
I
thank
wouldn't
you.
want to see anything in the house, but if I was to go like ghost hunting or something, then like, sure, let me see whatever. Like, I would love to see something.
Yeah, but in the house that you have to sleep and live?
Yeah, that's a big no.
I already seen shadow figures outside.
Oh, yeah, you told us about... Did he tell you about that?
Yeah, I told Lexie.
Do I remember?
I mean, you can say it if you want.
Okay, so basically I was out with some friends, and then when I was on my way back, it was just me. I was walking home on this road, and then to my right I see a figure by someone's front door, and then it goes around to the side of the house. As I walk past her, there's just bins, and it's blocked off with a wall, so nothing could get down there, but the shadow figure was gone.
See,
So yeah,
when
there's nowhere it could go.
No, when you first told me that, I was asking you loads of questions. I was like, are you sure it wasn't a person?
I just stayed silent. I was like, sweet.
There was just no
Alien.
face or nothing.
Yeah, so it's just like...
No clothes, nothing. It was just a shadow.
Was it like transparent or like black?
Like fully black.
Wow.
I couldn't see through it.
Wow. See, I wouldn't like that experience. No, I would like that experience. Just not anywhere around where I live.
Really?
Yeah. Like, if I saw that happen on our street that we live on, would you be okay with that?
It was 2 roads away from here.
2 roads away? You didn't tell me that part. I suppose that's a good distance.
It's just literally down that road.
You didn't tell me that part.
You know, it's so annoying. I want to like go out and just like have like my spirit talker thing on, just walking.
Oh, yeah, that would be fun. Some people don't believe in spirits being outside. Now, I've seen loads of other people having experiences outside.
Spirits
so I don't
outside,
know.
just like on the streets.
Yeah, because apparently...
Obviously there would be.
Yeah, but some people believe that there has to be some type of attachment. Now, there can be, because the grounds, it depends how old they are and what they've experienced and all that stuff. Like, what's the history of the grounds? You don't know.
Yeah.
All the time. So, obviously, I believe spirits can be outside, but some people don't. I don't know why, but...
Spirits can be anywhere.
Yeah. Again, it depends on the history. What's the attachment to it? What was there before? That's basically...
Like, if you think about it, even if like a spirit has an attachment to something, right? They could still go travel wherever they want, but like it's just that thing is just their like home. Like if that moves, then that's their new home because that thing's moved to there. So like let's say spirit has an attachment to a doll. I own the doll. It's on your bookshelf. Okay, don't know why. Right? If it's that like that spirit, oh, it's just gonna be vibing in here. Like this is its home, like designated spot. But then like it could move to like America if it wants to, right?
Mhm.
And then it could like just travel back. This belief, by the way, travel back to its designated home because its doll's here. Whereas if I move the doll to like Nan's house, then that's its new designated spot.
Oh, yeah, like, a good example is, you know that, haunted city that... Well, not city, but haunted town that they made where they've moved haunted, houses and just put them in one area?
I do not, but
You don't? I think you do deep down. You've definitely watched, like, Sam and Colby go there.
Sam and
20
Colby?
YouTubers.
Yes, I have.
I was about to say, you definitely know it. Anyway,
I don't know if he knows. Do you know?
do you know what we're talking about? Probably not. No.
Okay, but basically just like loads of haunted things moved to make a town. Like it's just a town that's haunted.
So it's
and
like
abandoned.
properties,
Mhm.
and they've moved all these haunted properties into one spot to make a haunted town. So they're all from like different places, and it has different histories, all that stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
a good example of that is obviously the spirits haunted the place. They've moved it to a different place, but they still haunt that property.
Yeah, because it's the property, not the like.
They just have more spirit friends.
I have a good question.
Okay, what's that?
Can spirits teleport? So if they want to go from the UK to America, would they just teleport or do they have to walk?
I think that's just belief.
Yeah, again, I think it depends on what you believe in. I don't think they teleport per se, but I would say there's the like portals.
Yeah,
that they go through.
My belief personally is that they just like go through portals and they can just go like in like however like quick a portal is. But
Yeah.
definitely they don't, in my opinion, they don't walk. They just like can get there like that if they go through a portal.
Yeah, so I suppose it's kind of like teleportation, but you're not just there, click of fingers, you're somewhere else. They have to go through like a whole portal.
Yeah.
But again, it's
What do you think?
Calvin.
What do you think? What do you think a portal, like the inside of a portal, looks like? When I imagine it, I imagine like the Coraline little locked door thing, like the little thing she calls for, and it's like all purple and blue. That's what I imagine.
I just picture like white.
What do you picture? Do you picture anything?
Minecraft Nether portal.
Or I don't know, because like when you think of a portal, you know the edge, like the outside of a portal.
Yeah.
It's normally like white and like it moves. Do you know what I mean? Like fog. Fog. There you go.
Oh yeah.
That's what I picture a portal as being. Just white fog. But again, it all depends on what you believe in. My apartment building is haunted, basically. Oh, nice. Straight to the
Sweet.
point. I've seen a shadow figure in my room multiple times.
Valid.
I was talking on the phone in my bedroom with my door open, and after I had just hung up, I turned to look towards my doorway, and saw a shadow person leaning in to look at me from the door frame. No, that's my worst fear. When I look out when I look at the door, my worst fear is like seeing someone peeping.
This is why I get so annoyed at you when you go to sleep but leave the door cracked.
Yeah,
That's why I get mad at you.
that's not my fault. I can't sleep with the door closed. So I have it cracked. But I know it doesn't make sense because it's my worst fear, yada yada. It's just the way it is. It's just the way I am. Just like when I saw so peer around Liam's bedroom door.
That's a big no-no too. I'm glad I didn't witness that.
Again, it was like a black figure, kind of what you saw outside. From like what you're describing.
I swear he has some type of attachment.
Yeah, I have a feeling you have some type of attachment. Because our stories that we've told on here before with when we lived in the flat, when pictures of you or like something to do with you would like be flung off the wall. Do you remember that?
Like,
Yes.
like things he's drawn, pictures of him, swimming certificate, like that type of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you definitely have some type of attachment. I don't know how you got it. But that's what it seems like.
I have no clue.
Imagine if the shadow figure was following you, so when you saw it outside, it's actually the one that is in your bedroom.
Okay, I'm gonna kick him out.
I'm obviously joking. Just in case someone takes me so serious for that. Anyway, where was I? I've also seen much scarier shadow figures with very dark energies looming over my bed and walking around my room. Just no.
Just move out.
No, I don't like the idea of something looming over me. Especially when I'm trying to sleep.
That's why I cover my head and almost suffocate.
They're just very creepy and give off bad vibes that make me nervous. They've never hurt me. They just feel really intimidating and like they want me to know they have some power here too. My sister also told me that a few years ago when she was visiting, she was walking by my room to get to the bathroom and my bedroom door was open and she glanced in and saw a shadow person staring at her. I think that was the one that stared at me. Okay, so it seems like this shadow figure's only in their room for some reason. The woman who lived next door to me also saw a shadowy man staring at her when she'd wake up in the middle of the night and described the same intimidated feeling I tend to get. She's since moved away and I haven't heard much from the new people living there about any ghost sightings. But I also hear voices around my own apartment that don't seem to be coming from anywhere and footsteps around the building that I don't believe belong to my neighbours. My upstairs neighbours have also seen someone in the house too. The day she moved in, she was moving with two friends, and obviously with all the professional movers and people helping out, there was a lot of coming and going to the apartment. So at the end of the day, when they had all sat down on the sofa to rest, my neighbour saw a man leaving, just kind of the back of his head, as he walked towards the door. She called out goodbye to him, and the other girls who were sitting in the living room with her immediately asked who she was calling to. She said it was one of the movers, assuming that man was just one of the people helping them. But then she remembered that they all had gone home hours ago, and it was only her and her friends in the house. She remembered the man wearing big heavy boots from what she saw of him, and the footsteps I hear all the time are big heavy steps, and they always come from above. We call him Mr. Boots affectionately. So it seems like shadow figures are just in that room by the sounds of it. Other people have experienced it in the building. Might just be a haunted building then. Like, I'm going to guess she lives in like flats.
See, I feel like she should do what her neighbor did and dip.
Bye bye. No, I'm sorry, but I don't like the idea of shadow figures just in the bedroom, because that means they're like watching you sleep.
Okay.
What if it was like in bathrooms?
That's
Yeah,
even
fine.
worse.
Okay.
What if it was just in attics?
That's
Attic, you
just
never
like-
go up there. But they're not going to stay in the attic.
I don't like the
What if it was
idea
in-
of it.
What if it's in the kitchen then?
I'm never cooking meal again.
What if it's just sat on your sofa in the living room? Watching TV.
What if it's stood
Oh my God.
behind the sofa, behind you?
How about no spirits?
Okay.
Nah, I don't know. I just don't like the idea of a spirit in the house, only because then you are possibly being watched with everything you do. So, like, in the...
You are.
Well, you are. Yeah, you are being watched with everything you do.
It's not possibly.
Well, no, because not every spirit can see you. Like, some are on, like, a recording, so they're just seeing what they've lived.
I would hate that. I would want to see what's going on, because if I was like there, I would just be messing around with people, honestly.
So, like, when you're ghost hunting, not every spirit knows that you're there. Because they're in their own world, basically.
Kind of like Stranger Things with the upside down. Yeah, he knows what I'm talking about. You don't.
Have I not got that far? Or something?
You wouldn't like fully understand.
I watched it fully twice.
I watched it fully like 5 times.
I
I'm gonna watch it again.
started watching it, but don't remember.
Like you would understand, I feel like, but you wouldn't like fully like get it.
Yeah, but I don't remember Strange Things. I don't remember a single thing.
Yeah, that's why we're gonna move on from Stranger Things, because I'm not gonna let anything slip out of this mouth.
No, and you're not good at non-spoilers. Assumably, the man that she saw walking out was obviously like a full apparition. Did I say that right?
Well, yeah, because she heard the boots, right?
Heard the boots, saw them, said goodbye. That's when her friends were like, who on earth are you saying goodbye to?
Did she not click on that, like, oh, the door didn't, like, make it open or shut?
I don't know. Unless she wasn't paying attention. But if she knew that the movers had left hours ago, how could she confuse
Because
it with a
sometimes
mover?
it's just, like, a quick, like, bye, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I don't understand how she thought it was a mover. Because
Maybe
They
it
left-
just didn't click.
hours ago. Yeah,
Maybe
but if
it's-
they left hours ago.
Yeah, but sometimes it just didn't click. Sometimes you're like, adios.
Well, yeah, I suppose sometimes you just go bye, like, without really paying attention.
Yeah.
And then that's when you're like, oh my god, I just said goodbye to something that isn't there.
Well, it is there, but it isn't there.
You think too deeply into things.
Which is
Generally,
good.
It's not there.
But it is there, but,
But it
it's
is there,
just,
but
like,
it isn't
not
there.
for everyone.
Okay, don't confuse me.
But it is there, but it just isn't there.
Liam's just like, I'm used to this.
Yeah.
He gets this every day. When I was 13, my friends and I were obsessed with spirit stuff. Valid, me too, girl. Ouija boards and past life regressions in particular. So I found a spirit guide named Naomi who lived on a farm. I actually found her gravestone from the early 1800s and carried a piece of the stone that broke off for years in a pouch around my neck.
What?
Okay, that's just weird.
Why would you do that?
That's just like.
Okay.
Also, technically, it's a bit disrespectful. You taking a bit of that. And
Yeah.
if you think about it, if you do that, it should probably attach to you.
Oh, 100%.
You've got a piece of her, like.
Number one
afterlife
rule,
thing.
don't take things from a haunted place, from graves. Well, that's it really. Just don't
Yeah.
take things that aren't yours. There we
Yeah.
go, simple.
So all at Alakid, because we all came from from Messed Up Homes, and we're drawing, and I drew a horse, as usual for me, and then had this incredibly strong impulse to write at a night on the paper, and I just knew it was the name of Naomi's horse, even though it sounded like complete nonsense. Flash ahead 8 years. I'm a senior in college that was using Atahide as a AIM handle. I get a message from a total stranger that says, "Hey, cool name, Eternity." I stared at that message and I thought, how would an illiterate farm girl spell the name of her horse? Eternite.
Eternity.
Eternity.
Eternity. Oh. I would say that this person kind of seemed really obsessed.
I mean, she
'Cause
did
why
write
would
in
you-
capitals, obsessed.
No, but I mean, like, they end up taking a piece. So there's, like, Naomi, spirit.
There's another story about Naomi.
Oh.
Someone commented on what I just read and said, "I love this story. Do you have any others about Naomi?" And the creator commented on another thing.
Okay, we'll have to read that after. But with this one, yeah, she takes a piece. So there's the attachment of Naomi. But then they start using the horse's name as a handle. Do you know what I mean? Like, why would you carry that with you for the rest of your life? Anyway, let's read the next story.
She was always a presence for me, but she never spoke. Her grave was behind an old abandoned yellow house we passed on the way to the horse farm. My friends and I would go once a week to the farm to milk stores and violate child labour laws, volunteering 8 hours to get a free half-an-hour riding lesson. On the way home, my mom and I would always stop and explore the house and barns and little family cemetery. I was obsessed with the house. Over the years, it started falling apart. I one day had a vision of Naomi. Can't say that.
What? What the hell? Okay, had a vision of something bad happening to Naomi. We'll
Yeah,
just say
very
that.
bad. The next time we went to the house, that barn had burned to the ground. Eventually, the house was no longer safe to explore, so I'd drive there and just walk the property. Her headstone was knocked over at one point. That's how I got the broken piece. I went off to college, and while I was gone, the house fell completely. About 10 years ago, someone bought the property and tore everything down and put up other houses. I have no idea what happened to the cemetery. I don't actively see or feel my spirits anymore, but I hope she's still with me. She was fiercely protective of me and always made me feel safe.
Wow. Okay, this one is a wild story. So it seems like...
Wild.
Yeah, it seems wild. Great. We'll leave it at that. No, it just seems wild how they kept this piece with them, which then obviously attached a spirit to them, and then that's when they started seeing like visual things of like
I feel
that
like
spirit's
they
life.
may be like a psychic medium or some type of medium.
Yeah, must be surely.
Just because a very vivid vision.
Very vivid vision, and they kept getting like they had the feeling to write what they assumed to be the horse's
They
name.
get the feeling, but also if you think about it, she's that obsessed with it. Like it's like almost she's getting like pulled towards it.
Yeah,
Just
basically.
towards that like world.
Wow, very... I mean, I must say that took a dark turn,
Very dark.
which we was not expecting.
This dude has not really spoke this whole time. He'd be begging to do a podcast and he doesn't speak.
I don't know if this counts as a paranormal, but I was hunting on my grandfather's property once and saw a skinwalker.
Shauna, you don't say the word.
I just did. Why? What happens if you say it?
Just don't.
I just said it.
Don't do it again. Just say like S Walker or something. Don't say the full word.
But they wrote it.
Just don't.
Why?
Just don't.
Why?
Just don't. Shut up. Don't, guys.
Are you like calling it if you say it?
Yes, don't.
Luckily, I was on a four-wheeler when I saw it and I noped the fudge out of there. Okay. I drove back to camp and told my grandfather about it, and he told me to wait in camp for a bit. We would both go out. I never saw it again, but I did hear scream at something. I still have a hard time going into woods after hearing that. Oh, it tells them to describe it. It was pale, didn't really seem to have the movement of a person, kind of laggy, had patches of thin hair and had hunched back. It had longer than normal arms and was just dirty. Oh, okay.
Does
Ew.
sound like it.
It sounds like it.
A little bit.
I don't really know much about it. Clearly.
They just move funny.
Oh my god, I do. Do they normally, are they normally the things that, like, crawl on walls and stuff? The things that I don't like, where they have, like, the...
They sometimes walk with their hands.
Yeah, sometimes they
That's why
walk
it's,
on all
like, long.
fours.
Yeah.
All fours, yes.
Yeah, and sometimes they show themselves like as like animals. Like they could show themselves as like a dog, but then they would act all weird because obviously they don't know how a dog acts.
So I do know what one is. Okay, and I have heard of them. I just don't know a lot about them.
But then that would probably be its true form.
Yeah, okay. Next story.
My wife and I, along with her son and his girlfriend, were visiting family in South Shore, Nova Scotia. We had rented 2 cabins close to my wife's dad's house. On the first night, my wife and I had just gone to bed. A few minutes later, something tugged my right big toe.
Why are you laughing at that?
I'm sorry. I just got...
Okay.
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 Yeah, my right big toe. Then literally 2 or 3 seconds later, the bed moved a couple of inches, waking my wife up. No one else in our cabin. On the second night, as we were falling asleep... Sorry.
Why are you laughing still?
I'm sorry. On the second night, as we were falling asleep, there were 3 knocks on the bedroom door. God.
What on earth is happening?
It was already open. Again, just us 2 in the cabin. We both said that if one more thing happened, we would move in with her son and his girlfriend in the other cabin.
Why was that so funny to you?
Right, big toe. I could just imagine like a little tug on his right big toe. Sorry.
Anyway, you're laughing very distracted, that story.
Yeah, sorry. You kind of made it not scary, but you know.
Very distracted, that story. I don't know why I said that.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be really... You yawned.
Anyway, so there were 3 knocks on the bedroom door, but it was already open. It wasn't really that scary.
No, it's not really that scary. I need to find a scary one because these ones aren't becoming that scary.
I'm
Or
literally just
not-
laughing at that
I
one.
know. Well, there's not many details.
Whoa, that's a very big detail one.
Okay, I'm going to read this one as the last one because it's like very long.
It's like a whole chapter of what you'd find in a book. It is. Okay, so get your listening ears on. Switch them, switch them.
Get your listening ears on. Let's get reading.
And have some
Scary
opinions
stories.
this time.
What?
I said, and have some opinions this time.
Oh, yeah. Do you have any opinions?
Yeah? Anything going on in that brain?
Yeah.
Anything going on in that brain? Yeah. Like, it goes back to nothing. Yeah, to be fair, there isn't really anything to say about those ones.
No.
Yeah.
I don't really have any opinions about those.
Let's go then.
Let's go then.
Let's go then.
Get ready. I come from a family of healers and sensitives, so I've had a paranormal and supernatural experience all my life, as has the rest of my family. Okay. Many of the encounters I've had have been positive, happy ones, but there are 2 of the creepiest incidents that have ever happened to me. My baby cousin's witches. Okay. When I was 12, we lived with my auntie, uncle, and younger cousins, who was 7, 5, and 3. I had to share a bed with the 3-year-old. She was a really smart little kid, a big vocabulary for her age and an imagination to match. One night we were laying in bed and suddenly she started crying and pointing at the corner of the room farthest from us. The only light was the street lights outside. I said, "What's wrong, Jay? What's that?" I wasn't able to see anything, not even a spider, what I thought it was. My baby cousin said through tears, "The witches are looking at us. They are mean." I was freaking out inside by this time, and I still couldn't see anything, so I asked her, "How many witches can you see, Jay?" She answered, still crying in my arms, "There are 3, and they are coming." I started to feel slightly unnerved by this, as obviously my baby cousins weren't allowed to watch scary film programs, or listen to scary stories, especially at 3, so this came out of the blue. All I could do by this time was to distract my baby cousin by telling her I wouldn't let the mean witches get her, and singing her nursery rhymes until she fell asleep in my arms. I didn't sleep at all that night. My cousin is now a beautiful, successful student teacher, and Like a lot of people who talk about our childhood, she remembers a lot of the things we did together, but she never remembers that night. Oh, okay, interesting. Baby cries in Dead End Alley. When we reached 10 years old, my cousin and I were allowed to play on the street just outside my auntie's house. There was a busy lane that ran down beside the side of the houses where all the kids used to run up and down, kick a football around, ride their bikes and generally mess around. I liked it because I had a long walkway to practice pushing my wheelchair without danger of the main road, and my cousin, our friends and I spent hours of fun running and wheeling up and down that lane. There was a funny little dead end alley just leading off the lane, which always had a weird vibe around it. There was only one house at the end of the dead end alley, as all the kids used to call it. The house was different from all the other houses around it. The others were bright, colourful and cheerful, full of life, with neighbours talking over the fences with one another, and always ready to tell us kids off, tongue-in-cheek, for making too much row, a typical slang term for noise in West London. The house down Dead End Alley was always dark. Even on the sweltering hot summer's day, it always seemed to have a gloom hanging over it, like a dark, ominous cloud. Obviously, we being merely 10 years old, was banned by my mum and aunt from going anywhere near the alley, let alone the empty, abandoned house, although my older cousin and his mates, who were 13, hung around Dead End Alley from time to time, with the sole purpose of frightening his little sister and me with horror stories of the house and its imaginary monstrous inhabitants. Having heard rumours about the dark history of the house, although not knowing anything concrete, the house had the reputation as a haunted house. One typical summer's day, my cousin and I were playing in the lane of our friends. We kept hearing a baby crying. Now, being in the middle of a council estate, it is not uncommon to hear a baby cry, so we paid no attention. However, as the afternoon wore on, the baby's cry became loud and constant, almost deliberate. That got our attention, and we all decided to investigate the noise, so we stopped playing and began to look around. To our horror, after searching for the root of the noise, we realized that the baby's cries were originating from the front garden of the Dead End Alley house. One of our friends, who was slightly older, said he would go near to have a look. We were all concerned by now, and it seemed obvious to all present that it was a real baby who was in distress, but everyone present also pleaded with him not to do it. But he was, and still is, a very principled, moral person, and his consequence overcame him. We waited for 10 minutes until he came back. He looked awful. His face was white as a sheet, and he looked physically shaken. He told us that he went into the garden, but there was no sign of a baby anywhere. His best mate asked him if he saw anything else, and just nodded and said, "I don't want to talk about it." Nobody forced the issue. In fact, I think everyone was secretly relieved about it. We left very quickly and returned to the safety of home. Years later, my cousin and I were talking to her mum, and she began to tell us about the history of the local area. The subject of the Dead End Alley house came up. We were horrified by what my auntie told us. It still gives me chills talking about it now. In the 1940s, the area where the family lived was way rougher than it was present day, with lots of domestic violence gangs. Oh, well, maybe I shouldn't say all that because YouTube might let us. Those ones. Lots of domestic violence, unwed mothers, and a lot of other things, which I'm not going to say in case YouTube doesn't like it. Also, a high pregnancy rate, which is to be expected in some ways, what with the war. Along with it came a fair percentage of unwanted babies. It turns out that the house in Dead End Alley was a baby farm, where women took their babies that they couldn't look after or didn't want. The women or couples, and for a fee, they would take these abandoned infants in and find good homes for them. It was said by locals that the couple running the baby farm was quite an unsavoury pair, and there were rumours at the time of coercion and intimidation of young unwed mothers to give the awful couple their babies, and neglect and abuse of their young charges. Then the scandal was uncovered. In the 50s, my auntie didn't know the full facts. The remains of several infant babies were found in the front garden in the shed where the husband kept his gardening tools. The couple was obviously charged with murder, and because of the number of remains discovered, they were put away for a long time. We didn't really know what the truth is of what happened that hot summer's day long ago, but my cousin and I have our theories. My cousin still lives in the same house with her own family and my auntie, and every time my husband and I visit them, I still get the chills when passing by Dead End Alley. And our friend who went to look for the distressed baby, who my cousin and I are still friends with, has never revealed what he saw in the garden of the Dead End Alley house. Wow. Okay. That was creepy.
Very.
And that was very interesting. I loved that through all that we got a lot of facts. We got the facts about the history. We got really good detail with the story. I feel like I can have a better opinion about it. So with the fact that they heard the cries like crazy, and then that's when they figure out the true story, which was dark. A very dark story. Obviously I can't fully say everything that happened within the house because YouTube might not like me saying those words, but a lot of very bad things happened within the walls of that house. But one of them being unwed mothers, and that is where obviously the babies would get taken. And it turns out that they heard the baby cries in the front garden, but that is where bodies were discovered as well. I think I'm correct on that one. I felt awkward. I don't know what to say. Because I forgot what I was saying. Like, it was in my head. I had everything. Now, I would be very intrigued to know what their friend saw, because he hasn't spoken about it to this day. He's like never brought it up, but you could tell that he was nervous about it. What would he have experienced, especially because everything that happened within that house back then, and then hearing the cries, what would he have experienced? Oh no, I hope he didn't see something. Like, you know when you walk into a place that's haunted and then sometimes you can get like their memories or like get like a bad vibe. Well, with them finding infant bodies in the ground, that means something awful obviously happened within that house. What if he saw that awful thing? If you know what I'm talking about.
I don't get how he could just like hold it like in, because I would just be like, even if I wanted to keep it a secret, I would just end up like spitting it out.
Yeah, but some people are so traumatized about something that they just can't physically bring themselves to like say it, or they don't want to believe it themselves, so if they just don't speak about it, it hasn't happened type thing, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it could be a case of that. Do you have anything to say, Liam?
It's just utterly strange.
It's just utterly strange. Like the way every single time you ask me just changes one word.
I know, I find it funny how it's all descriptive words.
What's that mean?
Descriptive.
Yeah.
Like you're describing something. So like you're saying, wow, it's wild, so you're describing what you thought of
I
it.
wonder what he saw.
Yeah.
No, I would say, the biggest mystery in that story is what did he see that was so terrifying that he comes out and he can't even talk about it. He hasn't mentioned it to anyone to this day. And especially because of what we know happened within that house, it just makes it even more intriguing. And the fact that they heard the baby's cries first, like before he experienced whatever he experienced, I don't know. It's a little bit terrifying, I must say. And I can only imagine having to learn, well, not having, but, you know, the way she found out what happened in that house after experiencing all that stuff from her aunt, and now still to this day she has to walk past that house. Like, imagine how, like, look at the house being like, I know exactly what's happened in that house. I know all the dark stuff. I've experienced something wild. Okay, well, I suppose that's why we're going to end it.
Yeah.
I have nothing else to say.
Yeah.
I'll be singing.
What if he got threatened by a ghost?
What if I got threatened by a ghost?
No, what if he got threatened by a ghost?
Oh,
Threatened by a ghost? Like how?
That's why he won't say anything.
What is it?
What if a ghost don't want him to reveal anything, so they threatened him?
I mean, it's a possibility, but like, what's the ghost gonna do? Because if he never goes back there,
Attach itself to him.
The ghost could easily like just
attach.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to be in that area, don't you? For them to attach themselves. You have
they
to
could find you.
Can they?
Could follow him home.
I suppose. The chance is there for a spirit to threaten, but rude. But I just feel like, I don't know, maybe he saw something he didn't want to. Type of thing, like a vision. or something. I don't know. I would love to know. I think everyone within the story would like to know as well. Like the people he was with. I don't think they're ever going to find out.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I'd really want to find out.
Oh, tell you something. Don't fight while we're doing the podcast.
We're not fighting.
Now, what I just thought of is, obviously, Liam has already told us one of his experiences. Do you have any more experiences, like ghost experiences that you've had within your life that you would like to share?
At Nan's house.
Oh yeah,
Us too.
I've talked about that one.
Yeah.
In case you don't know, quick summary is me and Liam was going down the stairs. The front door opened by itself. Like, we saw the door handle go down. I went to look. No one was there. That's a quick summary. If you want the full story, it's in other podcasts.
I feel like most of our like supernatural, ghostly, whatever, unexplainable things have happened at Nan's.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I used to be terrified of the mirror in her bathroom. I just got like a scary
Oh
feeling.
my god, it's funny that you say that. Same.
Like it was just, I just got like a funny feeling. I was just like, ooh,
But I don't
Well,
like mirrors.
Downstairs, upstairs.
upstairs.
But I don't like mirrors anyway. I hate mirrors. I try not to look in them because I know that it's like a portal thing.
But I also think, I got so scared of it also just because every time I looked in it, behind me, I think, like, this is in my head, I believe so, hopefully. But, like, I think I would see, like, the woman that I saw.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that
Before.
makes sense. I get that.
So I just got scared of it.
Yeah. Any more experiences?
That hopefully we haven't told for you.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Obviously,
Except in the bathroom.
in the bathroom.
In the bathroom?
Oh, what?
So I went to go toilet, right?
Right.
I tried opening the door. I opened it like halfway, like enough to put my head round, but like, it wouldn't open. Like something was blocking it. So I didn't turn the light on, so it's still dark. I put my head round, and there was like 2 glowing dots, like way higher than me, like,
Yeah,
looking down at me.
I remember you telling me that now.
And then it disappeared, and the door just opened.
Wow.
But then I just closed the door and just went to my room. I just went to the toilet.
You didn't go toilet.
You didn't go
No.
toilet?
Oh, like I ain't doing this.
I was just like, I ain't doing this no more.
See, loads of things happened in that bathroom too, because obviously,
Yeah.
I think I've explained that before.
Thankfully, I've never experienced anything major.
Well, my clothes and stuff just keep falling in my room. But it could be me.
Yeah, that ring
Yeah, that
light,
could
you
be. Like,
know
it
when you
keeps
picked that up?
It keeps going from there all the way to me,
Oh,
which is like a big gap.
yeah.
All I'm trying to do is play games.
No, you know that ring light? You know
Yeah.
when you picked it up earlier?
Mhm.
That just fell randomly. I was going to sleep. I thought I saw the guy, right? But I was just like, ignored him, right? Because that's what I've been doing recently. Because I'm just like sick of the dude. Honestly, if I'm being dead serious, I'm sick of him. Probably shouldn't say that. But still, yeah, that just like randomly fell. But it wasn't falling. Like, it was still on all legs. There was nothing pushing against it. Like, it was fine. It just fell for no reason.
It could have just fallen. I only say that
Yeah.
because we was messing with it. Remember when we found out that I've accidentally
Oh, yeah.
given away part of it.
Rude, honestly.
We'll explain after.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
so that is it for today's episode. Thank you all so much for listening. Remember to subscribe if you are watching on YouTube, or leaving a 5-star review if you enjoyed and are listening on Spotify.
Yeah.
Thank you all. I forgot what I say.
Thank
She
you
forgot
all
what
for,
she was saying.
watching.
Thank you all so much for watching or listening, and we hope to see you all in our next one.
Bye.
Bye.